Hello and welcome back to the channel. In this video I'll be sharing with you how to cut this stylish blouse. So if this is something you like, please don't forget to hit on the subscribe button, give this video a thumbs up. So let's dive right into today's video. So for this dress, I've gone ahead to mark out my basic measurement, which includes my shoulder to bust, shoulder to under bust, shoulder to waist, and then for my blouse length I'm using 7 inches extra from my waistline. Next, you're going to go ahead to mark your shoulder divided by 2. So after dividing your shoulder by 2, you want to go ahead and add at least ½ inch to it. After that, I'll mark 1 inch for the extension at one part of the sleeve. You notice that the shoulder is not exactly at the shoulder at one part. So after that, I'll come down by 1 inch, but I'll be drawing out that side after I'm done drawing out the chest line. So you want to find your chest line, which is your bust circumference divided by 6 plus 1.5 inches. Go ahead to draw out a straight line. After that, place back your tape and you're going to mark your shoulder divided by 2 again and then add ½ inch. Now go ahead to place your ruler and connect. So that extra 1 inch there, we are using it as a reference point when we are drawing out the other side of the armhole. Divide what you have and come out by ½ inch. Here, go ahead to mark your bust circumference divided by 4. You want to go ahead to place your curved drill, connect to that ½ inch and to the upper part of your shoulder this way. So after you're done connecting, you want to go ahead to start inserting your measurement. So for this particular pattern, the front pattern is 1 inch longer than that of the back because we are using a side dart. So by the time you take out that dart, the sides of the front and the back will be meeting. So after that, I went ahead to mark a basic neckline of 3 by 3 inches, and after this I'll place my ruler, connect and draw out the curve. Next, you want to go ahead to mark your measurement. Mark your bust circumference divided by 4, add your sewing allowance. Mark your under bust circumference divided by 4, add your sewing allowance. Mark your waist circumference divided by 4, add your sewing allowance. Then go ahead to mark your hip circumference divided by 4 and add your sewing allowance. Go ahead to place your curved drill and you'll be connecting your pattern starting from the upper part and to your under bust to the waist and the blouse length. So next, you want to go ahead to mark your dart. Come down by 1 inch from your bust. Go in by your nipple to nipple divided by 2. Place your ruler. Go ahead to connect. After connecting, mark ½ inch at both sides of this pattern and go ahead to reconnect for your side dart. So after you're done marking, you're going to outline these darts and also outline the other parts of your pattern. So you want to go ahead to cut out the sides of your pattern before altering your pattern. So what I have for my blouse is 24 inches. The length is 23 plus 1 extra inch for the darts that we're going to take out by the side. So now I'll go ahead and blend in my dart and cut out this pattern. Also replace the measurement I have on the other side on this part. So what I'm going to do now is to go ahead and add an extension to the upper part. So when you're sewing this dress, you want to blend out your dart because the stitch was not made on the dress. So next, I'll go up by 1.5 inches from here because if you notice, the neckline is a bit high on this side, like a built-up neckline or collar. I'm going to go ahead to mark that. So from here, I'll draw and extend to the other side. When you're extending this, you're going to create like a little curve from this part. So after you're done connecting from the center, I'll mark my nipple to nipple minus half, giving me 3 inches. That is, my nipple to nipple is 7 inches divided by 2. I have 3.5. So I'll take out ½ inch from it and mark at that point. So I'll now go ahead to connect this from that point to the other side, creating like a slanted curve. And from the center, I'll go out at least 1.5 inches from this part, right? So here you mark at least 1 inch after your center line. So after that, I'll go ahead to come down at least by 3 inches or 3.5. Go ahead to connect it to that side. So this is what I have for this blouse, and I'll go ahead to outline this pattern. Outlining it, to go ahead to mark out the other parts of this dress. So I'll come out ½ inch or 1 inch from the shoulder and reconnect. At the lower part of this pattern, I'm going to mark 3 inches or 3.5 inches by the side, and I will be connecting this to the center part of the dress this way, and I'll also connect to the other side of my pattern. So after I'm done connecting this, I'll go ahead to outline this, and after I'm done outlining, we are going to work on the other side of the dress, which is the off shoulder part. So I'll just go ahead and make little marks to indicate that there's a button actually on this part of the dress. So place your tape at the shoulder, determine how low or high you want your neckline to be at this point. So from here you can come up by 3.5, 3 inches or 4. It totally depends on what you want at the off shoulder part of this dress. So after this, I'll go ahead to connect. So this is what I have. So for this dress now, you're going to cut this out in 2 pieces, and after cutting it, you're going to add ½ inch for joining allowance. After that, you use that black fabric like to create a design, then place one over the other side and then top stitch on it. So after this, I'll go ahead and cut out this pattern. If you also want to request pattern illustrations or join our WhatsApp group, go ahead to send us a message on WhatsApp. So also remember to blend in your dart before cutting out your pattern. So to cut out the back pattern, I've marked out all the basic measurements. So remember what I said earlier, for the back pattern, it is 1 inch shorter. The front is 1 inch longer because we have a dart by the side. So if you take out that side, you still arrive at the same measurements with the front. So now I'll go ahead to insert all my body measurements, and I'm going to add a sewing allowance to it, and I'll connect just like we did. But in this case, we are marking all this after the zipper line. So just like we did for the front, go ahead to come down by 3 inches or 3.5 at this part, and then reconnect the lower part of your dress. So after you're done doing this now, I'll come in by ½ inch at my waistline. Sorry, I marked my under bust first. So go ahead to place your ruler, connect to the lower part, and also extend this at the upper part of your pattern this way. So after you're done cutting out, I'm going to go ahead to cut out the unnecessary part of this pattern that I don't need, and pin up the zipper allowance because we want to readjust the neckline of the dress, and I'll also go in to cut out the zipper. So now I'll go ahead to open this up. Remember, we have an extension on one side of the neckline, so you also want to add that extension at this side of your pattern. So I'll just go ahead and use a pin to hold it. Now you want to recall your pattern, bring your front pattern so that what you have at the neckline and the sides of your pattern will be matching. So after tracing this out, I'll connect it and also connect to this side this way. So this is what I have, but we are still going to readjust the zipper part of this dress so that it's going to match at the center. So I'll just go ahead and cut this out first, and after cutting it, I will now correct this part and retrace it so that what we have at the zipper of the dress will be matching. So this is what I have at this point, and I'll go ahead to also readjust it because I'm not really okay with what I have here, and I'll go ahead to trim it off. So after I'm done trimming this is what we have for the back pattern of the dress. So for the sleeve of the dress, one is a normal shoulder and the other is an off shoulder sleeve.